everyone, my name is Mobiru Mohammed. Chizito MK Mobiru is my name, the CEO INAAYA General Merchandise, and right now we are here at INAAYA Mixed Farm. INAAYA Mixed Farm, it's a farm having poultry department, we're having the fisheries department and the cattle department plus the goat department. Majorly it's a mixed farm having different fields. So let me hope you're going to enjoy this tour. Let's go start with the fishing sector because for it it's very near. Fisheries department is containing of ponds because we're having fish that is grown, fish that is reared in ponds. So this is pond 2. We have so far 5 ponds, and this is a primary pond where we raise from. The other one is a secondary pond, and these other 3 are secondary ponds. Here we're having 20,000 fish. There are fingerlings. That's a brood stock where we get the fingerlings in case we're having a farmer who wants to buy. And this fish is categorized into grams. The fish having 250 grams to 450 grams is in the first pond. The second pond is having fish that is ranging from 450 grams to 650 grams. So this side is the brood stock where we're having fish that is containing from 850 grams to 1 kilogram. And these ones, we use them for breeding. These are the ones that give birth to the fingerlings that those upcoming or new farmers in the business, in the fisheries business come. We get them fingerlings from here. The fingerlings, after getting them from here, they are taken to the other side, the primary pond, for at least 1 week before the farmer takes them. So you're seeing these pipes because of one thing. This water keeps on rotating every second, every minute, and every hour. And we're having this grass to help us raise those goats because the goats feed on this grass. And secondly, this is a swampy area. In case you don't plant grass here, the mud will pour into the pond. The grass helps us to keep the ponds firm and also to beautify the environment. Secondly, this water is green because of the fertilizers we put in. Once the water is not colored, these green substances helps us in 2 things. We're having we call them wild birds. There's a certain duck that comes and feeds on these fish, the fingerlings. So when the water is green in nature, we put in fertilizers to change the water to become green to avoid those birds from coming and feed on the fish. They can't see clearly in the water, so it gives them a hard time. Also, these fertilizers that we put in help us to generate planktons. Those planktons don't feed only on the feeds we give them. They also need natural planktons because in the lakes there's nobody who feeds what? Fish in the lakes. The little we feed plus the fertilizer we put in, the fertilizer generates in planktons, and the fish that doesn't get the fish feeds is fed on the planktons. Fish farming, it's a genre, but it's process by process. We need to start from how it is dug, excavated, how it is planned for, until the harvesting area. But right now, I'm just going to take you into 2 processes only. Those processes is how you plan for where to put a pond and how it is excavated. Where to put a pond, that's the proposal setup. And secondly, how to excavate. Before excavating or before planning where to put a pond, you have to first get a source of water. And before getting the source of water, you have to know the area where you're going to what? To excavate your pond. You have to understand the security of the area, and the water has to be natural for you to cut the costs. Because like this is a dry season, you're not going to what? In case the place is not waterlogged in the dry season, this whole place will dry up and the fish will die. Fish lives in water and in deep waters. So this place has to be waterlogged. It has to be having water 24/7. And in that, for this place to have water 24/7, we must have a water reservoir. And the water reservoir is the other side. We shall go there, I will show you the water reservoir. That water reservoir generates the water of this whole area. After discovering the source of water you're going to use, then you plan your stocking rate. How many are you going to stock? And in case you target on more, the more you target or the more you widen your plan, is the more you have to produce, and you have to overthink of the capital you're having because of one thing. We have to buy the feeds, and the feeds nowadays are expensive. So you have to plan small or to plan big, because this is not like poultry. Poultry is a 1 month business, and you what? After 1 month you produce. After 1 month you produce. This is an 8 months what? Business. So in your capital you have to plan for where to get the money for the feeds of what? 8 months. So when you're planning to excavate, you also have to put that in mind. And secondly, you have to excavate something big or enough for the stocking rate you're going to stock. Because in case you overcongest the fish inside the pond, there is one thing you're going to what? To face. That problem is that when you overcongest the fish won't grow. And the people in Uganda always are people like the big things. So the fish, at least for it to go on the market, it has to be having something like 650 grams. That is ready for market. And for me, 650 grams, that takes me something like 4 to 5 months to raise such a breed. Because I'm having one of the best breeds in Africa. That's called the Nile tilapia. You also have to consider that. Which breed are you bringing? There are very many breeds, but Nile tilapia is very good because it grows faster, though it consumes a lot. But you have to balance. That's it. Number 2. In case you excavate a smaller pond, that smaller pond is going to lead you into losses. You have to bring fish that doesn't produce. In case you have excavated a smaller pond. But in case you get a bigger pond like this, 200 by 100, even if the fish you're having produces, it will be enough for the pond. Because after every 3 months, we are going to go into grading. And secondly, when you're excavating, you don't need a deeper pond. Why? There is time for harvesting, there is time for grading, and there is time for separating these little ones from the mothers, so that they also grow what? Fast. Because in case you leave these little ones in this mature fish is fed on millimeters. There is powder, there is 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 3 millimeter, up to 6. It depends on the company you're buying from feeds. So in case we remove the little ones, the fingerlings, and we put them this side, it also gives us ample time to feed. You know, this side I'm having 2 grams to 70 grams. They are going to feed on powder and 1 millimeter. This side I'm having 150 grams to 250 or 300. They're feeding on 1, 2, 3 millimeters.